I saw Topuria like write something like, "Oh, keep that same last 10 seconds in the first 10 seconds." I'm like, why would you do that?
Why not do it in the beginning of the fight?
Because he's dangerous. A lot of people said I got lucky landing that kick, and if his nose didn't break, the fight would have been different. I'm like, yeah, because I didn't throw the kick. Okay, guys, his nose just broke from the air or something. Yeah.
McGregor is not going to fight Chandler next. Is that something that would potentially interest you, putting up that BMF title against Conor McGregor in a rematch?
Anybody sits here and tell you they won't fight Conor McGregor is talking out their ass. I think DJ would come out of retirement to fight him. But
Oh, it's 15-time world champion Demetrious Johnson. You're listening to the MightyCast.
What's going on, guys? This podcast is sponsored by PrizePicks. Now, PrizePicks is a daily fantasy sports game where you can play directly from your phone. It's very simple. All you gotta do is go to your app store, download PrizePicks, and when you do that, make sure you use my promo code MightyCast. Got a cool promotion going on right now. You play $5 and you're gonna win $50 instantly. And they got a banger card this week in UFC 308. Max Holloway taking on Illia Topuria for the featherweight strap. And then we also have a banger co-main event. Khamzat taking on the Reaper, Robert Whittaker. Boom! NBA season is just now starting, and Ant Edwards, all he needs is 1 point and you get that free square. So lock it in. Opening night of the NBA. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Get the pick in at the right place, which is PrizePicks. Now, let us get to our guest, Max Blessed Holloway. Enjoy. Jesus Christ, look at all that gold. Whew. Boom. There we go.
Okay, are you? How's the mic?
Is that a tennis necklace?
This?
Each?
Yes,
yeah.
It is. Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again for another episode of the MightyCast, and we are joined by the baddest motherfucker of all time. Well, one of the baddest motherfuckers of all time, my man, Max Holloway. Max, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
Good. I mean, we talked to you before you fight Justin Gaethje, and now we're going to talk to you before you fight Illia Topuria. But I want to go back, okay? You shocked the motherfucking world. You didn't shock me, but I'm sure you saw my reaction when you got me screaming like a little girl. When you knocked out Justin Gaethje.
I did see it, brother. You're a real one, bro. You're a real one. First and foremost, congrats, bro, to everything you did in the sport. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for being a leader in the octagon and outside the octagon. Enjoy your retirement. I know you're still going to be grappling and messing fools up there, but thank you for what you did for the sport of mixed martial arts, bro. You put us on the map, and first guy ever, I think, did a super fight with a Muay Thai guy. I was waiting for a super fight with a grappling guy. That would have been fun, but you still can get that. And thank you again, bro. Thank you again. Thank you for everything you did for the sport, bro. You're an icon. You're a legend. You're somebody that these kids should be looking up to.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Well, they should be looking up to you as well. I mean, you've done everything by the code. You never failed a drug test. You've never missed weight. You've always shown up. You fought fights on short notice. And so you're a huge role model. And you still got a lot more story to be written, but thank you so much for the praise. Now, when you fought Justin Gaethje, walk me through what the hell is going on, and then we're going to talk about the end. But I felt like in that fight, you did a good job of controlling the void, outboxing him because you are the cleanest striker. And just talk me through that fight, man. Just tell me what was going through your mind.
Bro. I felt good. We got to put on the right weight. We didn't get too big because I had an idea of maybe coming back to 45 after. Actually, not had an idea. I really wanted to fight Illia. I wanted to make that a point. So, we had to put on some right size to the point where I didn't get too big and slow. Most of my advantages is speed whenever I fight. So we wanted to keep the speed that we had at 45 to 55. A lot of guys will go, I gotta get big. I gotta, match this guy's size for size. And that wasn't our case. Yeah, it looked like we was getting bigger. I think so. We was getting more tone, and I was able to eat in camp a little bit more. But I wanted to keep my speed, and I did. I kept my speed. I felt fast in there. I mean, I was kind of surprised how up I was in the rounds. I felt like I won every round. I felt like we was in there, and I was tagging them up, and it's hit and not get hit. That's the name of the sport. And I was able to do it. And like you said, the last 10 seconds came, and if I had the opportunity to be in there with one of the dangerous, baddest mans in the world, and Justin Gaethje, and to do that 10 seconds and to land my shot before you land his was a great feeling.
And that's when the speed comes into play. Now, when you say you got to put the weight on correctly, how much weight did you put on, or were you just not really focusing on, like, right now when I'm competing in jiu-jitsu, I'm just living my best life. I'm eating whatever I want. I'm lifting as much as I want. So I'm walking out 148, 149. Competition weight is 154. So I have, like, I could put a lot more weight on. For you, when you fight at 155, how much, were you fluctuating compared to when you fight at 145?
I wasn't living my best life because I couldn't eat what I wanted to eat, but I was eating a lot more, Ron. I was eating a lot more. And my weight would get like to a point I'd be like, I can have like a 2,000 calorie meal, and just put it back on, so it was great, man. It was great. I love fighting 55. I mean, I got a bunch of time left in my career. I'm not thinking of going back to 55. I mean, we got Topuria first. First things first is him, and then we'll go from there.
Gotcha. Okay, now let's talk about the last 10 seconds of that fight. Why not do that in the beginning of the fight?
Because he's dangerous.
So once everything is good to go, you're winning the fight. You're like, you know what?
Everybody, I mean, come on. I know why you're asking the question. It's for the show, but anybody with any fight IQ, I saw Topuria like write something like, keep that same last 10 seconds in the first 10 seconds. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah, no.
It's kind of, you're an idiot. You know what I mean? But this is fight IQ, like I gotta, before I go all in, I gotta make sure I know what I got in my head.
Hey, I love that. I gotta ask the question. I'm thinking about, I was like, hey, if this motherfucker do it in the last 10 seconds, shit, did in the first 10 seconds, and you get the job done. But obviously, you're winning that fight. You didn't even have to do that the last 10 seconds. It's almost like, I'm gonna give you a chance right here. This is your chance right here, Justin. You think you could beat me in 10 seconds? Let me see if you can. And then you slept him. So that's why I just did, the reverse psychology. I was like, hey, let's go hard in the first 10 seconds. But I agree with you. I wouldn't fucking do it. And so even for me, like when you see a lot of people in mixed martial arts, they're winning the fight. Same thing when I fought Kyoto Horiguchi, I beat him all rounds. Last second, I armbar him. Ray Borg, I beat him all the fucking rounds. I armbar him. You're beating Justin Gaethje all the fucking rounds. Even Ricardo Lamas, you beat him all the fucking rounds and you do your signature. Now, is that just like, it's your thing, and you're just like, I'm fucking mad now, we're gonna fight? Or you're like, I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to see if you can knock me out. Come on, show me what you got.
With Ricardo Lamas, it was more of an angry thing. Because if you watch the fight, Ricardo, like towards the ending of the fight, like I was moving and making him miss in the ending of the fight. And like he did this 3 times. He went like this one time, and I was thinking, like, what are you doing? Like, now you want to fight? You know what I mean? I was thinking, like, what? Now you want to fight? What's going on? And then the second time, he said something to me, and I was like, come on, this can't be real life. I'm thinking, like, bro, I'm up, and this guy wasn't fighting this, like, he wasn't acting like this in the second or first round, you know. And then the third time when he went like, come on, I was like, brother, oh my gosh, whatever, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to stay here. Then let's go. With Justin, was just, he's a dangerous guy. Everybody is saying he's a power puncher. And one of the scary hitters in 155, they were saying. So I was like, I got hit on the top of the head in one of the exchanges and got put to the butt. So I was like, man, let's really see how hard he can hit. And if he can land it, he can land it. We die on our sword right here, I don't need my shield. I threw my shield to the side. I was like, if this is where I die, this is where I die. That's his life.
I love that. It's fucking hilarious. He goes, well, I'm beating you. If I die, I die. Give you an opportunity. Well, it's hilarious because, like, I'm watching the fight and I start laughing. I was like, oh, here goes Max. And you fucking hit him with that beautiful overhand right. And a lot of people are like, oh, Max has no power. But you do have power. You knocked out Korean Zombie. We sat down. Then you knocked out Justin Gaethje, which nobody put him to sleep like that before. And I think it's when you plant your feet and you just let your hands go. Because usually you're moving around, you're throwing your pot shots, you're moving around, you're throwing your kicks, your knees. Like, I just love it. So thank you so much for that entertainment. And we had Ray Rod on MightyCast. He did that epic fucking
epic end, bro. He's fun. He dropped like 3 or 4 of them right after the fight, bro. The first one was a Sonic one. One of them was the Star Wars one, I think. And bro, whatever, he's so funny. I commented on one of them. On one of the ones that he made for someone, I forget, from Rob. Rob, one that he's carrying Suhodo or something, to whatever Zombieland. And I was like, bro, I need one. I'm shooting my shot, bro. I'm gonna comment and see if he makes it. I made one after, so I was like, oh, sick. This is awesome.
Yeah. Well, it was such a great opportunity for him to do it because how the fight happened and how it went out. And then we had him on, and he was talking about, like, he said, like, when he watched that fight, how you and Justin Gaethje and how you slept him, he says, man, the first thing that came to me was fucking Sonic the Hedgehog and having to spin like and spinning down. So I was like, wow, that's super creative. So that was amazing. That knockout was, absolutely crazy, and it went viral. Now after, oh, here we go here.
I didn't mean to step out of him, bro. I love Gaethje.
Yeah. So there it is. I know you saw it before, but Michael wanted to show you it, and the wife was going crazy. The whole fucking house was going crazy. So thank you for that memory, my friend.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
Okay, now let's look forward. Okay, now we got, Illia Topuria. Now I know after last MightyCast we had you on, we didn't record it, but you're saying, I'm going to make it look easy. I'm going to break this man. I'm going to take it to him, right? And I think, and here's the thing, I'm excited for it because we know,
man, I can't wait.
We know he's going to bring it. We know you're going to fucking bring it. You never back down from anybody. Right? How's your body feeling going into this fight, and how's the weight cut going? Because last time you were at 155, you looked strong at 155, and I'm sure you probably kept some of that muscle going back down to 145. How is your body feeling right now with the whole thing, cutting the calories? Now you're going to be in a deficit. Talk to me.
I feel good, bro. I feel good. I mean, I always track. I'm a numbers guy. I like tracking stuff. And we've been tracking my weight for this one, and I'm ahead. I'm ahead than most recent of my 45 fights, and I want to be ahead too because the last 45 fights I've only been making it to 46 anyway. In the last 2, so we know we got to get to the 40. We know we got to get flat to 45, and we know that 1 pound can be a pain in the ass sometimes. So I'm just ahead, bro. I'm way ahead. I feel good. I feel great. I feel strong. Like you said, man, I can't wait to fight this guy, man. I've been saying, I've been telling people this guy is writing checks with his mouth that his body might not be able to cash. So we get to find out come October 26th.
Now, how big do you get? Like, are you up at 170 now, or are you still staying at 160? Like, how big do you get outside of camp? Like, I'm sure, like, how big do you get outside of camp, and how big are you when you're like just training? Like, you're 6 weeks out from the fight.
Man, can't tell you. I like everybody guessing. I like keeping everyone guessing, you know?
Well, fuck, last time we hung out.
I could be 185, 200 pounds. Last time I checked, I was as big as a Stipe Miocic, so
exactly.
Let them keep wondering.
Well, I remember last time we were hanging out, it was a while ago, and you came back home from Japan, and you a big motherfucker. And it wasn't like you were fat. You were just a big frame, and then you came on the show, you're like, dude, I have the shortest reach in the division. I got T-Rex arms. Yeah. And I'm like,
I'm a T-Rex, bro.
How's that fucking possible? You're like 6'8", aren't you?
Brother, 6'8", like 250 pounds. DC keep annoying, not trying to fight me. He's in retirement, out of retirement. I don't know what do you want to do. You want to fight for the baddest man on the planet? He should let me know.
You probably beat him, to be honest with you. You'll probably outstrike him easily. Easy work.
DC thinks he's gonna just take me down like it's an easy thing or something. I'm like, no, DC.
It's interesting because typically all your fights stay on the feet, right? Like I remember we talked last time when you fought Aldo and you start throwing those body kicks. I was like, ooh, I like this. This is a different like kind of weapon that you typically aren't used to see you do, right? Usually it's the hands, you move, wop, wop, and you move out, in and out because you seem to have the longer reach on people because of the way you move in and out. But, but the numbers don't lie. You don't. So it's very interesting. So I think with DC, you probably piece him up as well.
Yeah, thank you. Finally, someone's agree with me, bro. That's why you the man, brother.
I mean,
DZ, DJ, you got the best mind in MMA. If he said it, it's true, guys. All you internet guys, all you guys that's going to be in the comment later on, shut up. Most of you don't know shit about MMA.
Oh, I love it. What's going on, guys? This podcast is sponsored by True Classic. Now, True Classic is a clothing company that offers very comfortable clothes. I'm wearing one of their shirts right now. I'm a pretty much easy guy. It has a high premium quality on it. The biggest thing I love about these shirts is that the stitching on it. It's a high collar, fits my biceps, it fits my chest, and it's not too baggy. This is a medium. Typically, when I get a medium, I'm swimming in it, but these tailor fit to my body. One thing I love about True Classic is that typically when you want to get a shirt that's tailor fit to your body, you're going to pay a premium price. With True Classic, the prices are very affordable and you have that premium feel to it. Now with True Classic, you get that. They're really conscious on trying to give you a premium feel that's going to fit your body, and I can wear this out to the club. I just wear this with some nice jeans, some golden gooses, chain, rollie. Your boy looking fresh and fly. If you want to step up your wardrobe this season, make sure you check the link in the description below or go to trueclassic.com/mighty and I'll help you save on your order and step up your wardrobe game and get out those funky old t-shirts that don't have that nice fit and that premium feel. Shout out to True Classic for sponsoring this podcast. Let's get back to our guests.
That actually reminds me, DJ, bringing up you using new tricks. How did you come up with that spin kick that you used, I don't know how many times in that Gaethje fight, but I can't remember you using it, at least in your more recent fight. So where did that come up in the game plan to start using that?
I'm with the Gaethje fight, like you was correct, I mean, DC claims he's a fan, he's a friend, but he just told me that I never ever had that in my arsenal. And I was like, this guy did not watch my fight. What the hell is going on? I went away from it because not that I didn't really have a meaning or a time to use it. And I felt super comfortable with Gaethje just because he had this tendency of maybe ducking after striking. He does this thing, he goes striking, he ducks. And my spinning back kick is not it's not one that you teach. Like everybody's spinning back kick is a distance kick.
Yep.
I like throwing my spinning back kick when we're close to close, like head to head. So and then I create the space by jumping out or jumping in, right? And my favorite one is a jumping out one because people don't expect it when you're that close to me jump out and then I get to hit my spinning back kick. So, but with Gaethje, it was just him staying there, and we knew he was going to throw heat and throw power, and it landed. I mean, it's insane. I felt like I had to actually use my IQ, watch a bunch of tape on it, and then land that kick, but a lot of people said I got lucky landing that kick, and if his nose didn't break, the fight would have been different. I'm like, yeah, because I didn't throw the kick. Okay, guys, his nose just broke from the air or something. Yeah, guys, I did not throw the kick. Yeah, so you got me there.
I love it's crazy because you look at all your fights, right? It's like you never try to look for an easy way out, right? Obviously, you know what I mean, people are discrediting you throwing that spinning back kick super close inside the void, right? Like you said, typically people, they like to use that spinning kick to keep him away. Like Islam Makhachaev, he does it and it's like keeping people away. Where you're there, you're throwing a 1, 2, 3, and you go, what? You jump up and you turn real quick in or outside, inside the void. And people shitting on you. It's like, oh, you got lucky. He ducked into it. I was like, that's what fucking happens. If I throw an uppercut, you ducked into it. I timed you going into it. I saw your mechanics of your body and I studied hours and hours of your tape. But, people always going to say what they're going to say, and they're going to say you got lucky, right?
The most craziest thing is when if I was fighting, for instance, since the most recent one is Brian Ortega.
Yep.
Like how he's jumping up and down. Before the Yair fight, and he twisted his ankle, and then he loses, and then you can legit say, "Holy shit, we don't know how the fight would have went if he didn't roll his ankle." But then at the end of the day, he still rolled his own ankle. That's his fault for jumping up and down inside the octagon. Stand up still. I mean, jumping around. You know what I mean? In my mind, whatever. But I don't know how you can tell someone that's like DJ being bro, imagine you get an armbar early. You bust someone an arm and they fight you with a broken arm for 4 rounds. It's like, okay, I broke his arm.
Yep.
It's like, he had a broken arm though.
Yeah, because I fucking broke it. Exactly. Or it's just,
it's crazy.
I mean, we can bake this cake so many different ways. It's like, imagine if he didn't miss weight. Imagine if like, let's say like Ryan Garcia when he fought Devin Haney. What would have happened if?
I talked to you. I talked to you the last time about the Dustin Poirier one when they said the cage saved me. When a lot of people was like saying the cage saved me. Imagine if the cage wasn't there. Right? They said.
Yeah.
And that would have been a drop. And then I would comment to people, or I was just like, okay, imagine the wings on my back came out and I started flying around their cage and spearing it with a stick. Like we're living in the real world. We're not using our imagination. This is not SpongeBob in his box, you know? Like, come on, guys.
You said, imagine if the wings on my back came out.
And I started flying around. What is gonna happen, bro? Like, come on, these guys is ridiculous, bro.
That is fucking. The fans are lucky to have you, Max. They are lucky to have you. That you're giving them the time of day to go in the comments and read that shit and come up.
I don't go into them, you know. Like sometimes I'm just like on it and I see it. Like even like Topuria. Like I did a bunch of interviews yesterday or the day before. I forgot what day I did it, but they asked me, "Oh, how do you feel about Topuria commenting on your post?" I don't know if you know this, but he did. He said, "Let's go, Max." One of my posts, and I was like, I don't know. That's kind of crazy. Like, you have to put time and effort to think and go here. Like, I don't really care about social media. Sometimes I see shit. I didn't see that, but I was laughing, you know? But the truth of the matter is, Topuria just might be a fan. He might be really cheering for me on this fight. And he is, you know? Every time I fight, brother, he always had something nice to say, you know? Like, it's our persona, whatever he's trying to do. I get it. I understand. We're in the entertainment business, but brother's odd. He's awkward, and just be a nice guy, bro. I think a lot of people love him if he's a nice guy. You know, some of the stuff he's saying is like out of pocket, but hey, if that's what he needs, he's an odd little man, and if that's what he needs, stay odd, keep odd, bro. Because I want the best Illia Topuria come October 26th.
I love that. Well, I think. Besides you guys fighting, I think he is a big fan of you because you've done so much for the sport of mixed martial arts. The beginning of your career and up to this point, taking dangerous fights. I mean, at what point in time you're going to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov, you know, on a short notice, right? And then you fight Justin Gaethje for the baddest motherfucker, the belt. And you kind of went off, like we like to call them side quests. You went off and did a side quest, run that belt, and now you're coming back to the main storyline, the main campaign to, you know, get your belt back in 145. Now, when you look at this fight, when I look at Illia Topuria, I would say the thing he does very well is that he puts himself in the fire to fight. You know, you look at the fight when he fought Jay Herbert, he got hurt a lot. Right, he got hurt a lot, made some adjustments. When he fought Alex Volkanovski, he couldn't get to Alex Volkanovski. Illia Topuria has to get to the right spot to be dangerous, right? If he can't get to that spot, he has a hard time. You look at the fight when he fought Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell made him miss all over the fucking place, right? So when I look at this, he has to get that right spot, then I can go. If I can't get there, I'm always going to be chasing you.
Yeah, I mean, He's good, bro. You know, I'm not gonna be a hater, and a lot of people are like, oh, he did this. A lot of people like talking about like our way to the title. You know, like with Volk, like, you know, I give him his respect, yo. He's the champion of the world for a reason. He beat a guy that I had 3 cracks at. He did it in 1. You know, but a lot of people, what people are mad about, and I understand it, is like the strength of his schedule getting to that fight. You know, like if we compared my strength of my schedule to get to the title fight versus his, it's a no-brainer. You know, whose schedule was harder. But at the end of the day, guys got to keep remembering that this guy had to win. That you cannot be mad at him because, whatever it is, he still had to beat these guys.
Yep.
And beating people is not hard. It's not easy. I mean, it's super hard.
Yep.
And any given day, someone can win, especially in this sport of mixed martial arts. You know, you could have an off day, you could be sick. It could just be on that day. You don't know what happens. You know, in this sport is weird, bro. We saw crazy stuff happen in mixed martial arts. So at the end of the day, you know, it's all respect to him. But I get to show and I get to prove, when I was his age, the way he was talking, the way he's talking right now, when I was his age, last time I checked, I think I was younger or his age, I had title defenses already.
Yep.
And just win the title, I had title defenses. And when I won when I won my first title, I turned around like pretty quick in the year to fight.
Yep.
I didn't wait like forever to go again. So I'm just happy, I'm in that point of where I got to fight all the guys who I watched on WEC and coming up, and now I get to fight this new generation, and I'm excited for it, man. I can't wait for it. He's one of the first new generation. He's the new generation champ. He's considered. So I go out there, I get my hand raised, and show everybody that I'm stood around.
Boom. Well, it's kind of crazy when you say the new generational champ because you're still young. You're 32. You'll be 33 soon, and the fact that you've been in the UFC fighting at the highest level for so long, and you still have 4 to 5 years left in your career. Because I know you said you stopped sparring, right? Like you stopped sparring as much in your training. Have you gone back to sparring a little bit, or are you still the same where you're like, okay, I'm not sparring anymore?
Yeah. So we've been sparring a little bit, especially with going up a weight class and fighting Justin Gaethje, brother. I was like, where get to sparring, bro? This man different. This man different, bro. We need to get back, And then even with Illia, we know he's a power puncher. We know he likes, like you said, being in the fire.
Yep.
I love being in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people keep telling me that some of his best work is inside the pocket, and I'm like, I guess you guys don't watch too much of my fights because I live there. I love it. If you want fire, I love fire, man. I love going in there. I like mixing it up. Like I said, I might have a reach advantage at him, but I highly doubt it because my T-Rex arms is still incapable. Even though I'm taller than him by like what, a foot, I still gonna have not a reach. His reach is like freaking. My reach is just T-Rex Max, bro. I should change my name for the last couple fights of my career.
You should get a
member of the T-Rex.
You should get a shirt made like Total Recall. Have you seen that movie? It's an old school movie with Donald Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
You know when he opens not Quaid. God, what was the guy who was in the homeboy's belly and he opened it up and his arms were like, Quaid, open your mind. You should get a shirt like that made.
Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible.
Well, you said it, T-Rex Max, so I'm just sitting here just like,
oh yeah.
Okay, now after this fight, you're gonna make a decision if you're to stay at 145 or 155. If you become the champion, when you become the champion at 145, would you be looking to go up to 155? Because you look at 145, you pretty much have beat. You could fight Alex next again or whatever it may be, right? I'm looking ahead. I'm looking at success. I'm looking at. I know you're not, but I always like to, even when I'm looking at this. You've done so much in the sport of mixed martial arts. Before we jumped on here, you say you want to fight a couple more years. I told you that check's going to come when everything gets settled in court. But I feel for you, you want to go up and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you got the BMF belt. You've already been a featherweight champion. You're fighting this young generational stud, Illia Topuria. I feel like a matchup between you versus Islam Makhachaev could be potential down the line. And then you say you've been up to 185, 210. You could fight at 170 as well. Do you have any, admirations to go up and try to do the double champ? Because you'll be the first double champ. If you beat Illia Topuria, you'll be the first baddest motherfucker and featherweight champion in the world. It's never been done before because you had Jorge Masvidal, and then I think you had Justin Gaethje was the baddest motherfucker, and those guys were not champions, right? They've never been a champion in the UFC. I think Justin Gaethje was probably the interim champion. I'm not sure.
Interim.
He was the interim champion, but interim champions don't count, so doesn't matter. If you beat Illia Topuria, you'll be the first baddest motherfucker and actual featherweight champion. And then if you beat Islam, you go up there, you could be that. So do you have any itch to do that, or are you just like, I'm sitting here just waiting to see what's gonna be the most profitable fight for me and funnest fight? Oh, bro.
I want to get my face edged on the MMA Rushmore next to your face, brother.
Oh shit! Well,
that's what you. And the thing you gotta do great things.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, we had that fight booked with Khabib a while back, and they call it Islam Khabib 2.0. So I want all the taste, I want all the smoke, and it'd be an honor to fight that guy and try to edge my name in the history books, you know. But like you said, first things first is Ilya. But if I had my choice, why not? Why not be able to fight Islam? Islam never ever wanted to fight me, even when I was saying I was coming up to 55 after fighting the guy that he was supposed to fight next and stuff. He still was saying, I don't know why I would fight him. But then recently his tone changed where he was like, oh yeah, if I can get past Topuria, it'd be opening to fight me. And I was like, okay, well, that's all we needed. We just needed the little crack in the door, brother. I'll squeeze my way through the rest. Don't worry about it.
You like this? Here I come. Watch out. Watch out for my arms. You get over the hill that big. Oh shit. Okay, enough fight talk. Let's get to the gaming. So you're streaming now on kick.tv. How are you liking that, right? I know you're on Facebook. First you started on Twitch, you went to Facebook, and now you're on Kick. How are you enjoying your time streaming on Kick?
I'm loving Kick, man. I'm loving Kick. Kick is fun. Kick is cool. Like you said, once you build a community anywhere, they just follow you, really. You know, like the community from the purple side and to the blue side, now to over at Kick. It's just awesome, bro. I made some friends. Making some new friends, and it's just great, bro. I love streaming. I mean, you know how it is, interacting with fans, being able to talk, you know, and the ones that like you, at least. The ones that don't like you, kind of annoying, but hey, sometimes if I'm feeling it, I put them in the place. So, you know, life's good.
Now, when you're streaming on Kick, are you playing any games? Before we started before we started the podcast, you talking about you doing some gambling on there. What's your favorite game? You doing the slots? You doing blackjack? You doing roulette? What are you doing?
Yeah. I use Stake US, so I love being on Stake US. So much fun, you know. Gamble responsibly, guys. Do not play with what you cannot play with, guys. Don't be an idiot. Don't try to get rich. I just do it for fun, but I love playing slots, bro. Slots is fun. Slots is good. It's a good way, and it's much. I like doing the gamble streams because I can actually focus and talk to the chat and be way more interactive with the chat and, you know, spin. And when we win, we win. When we lose, you know, I'm sad and everybody's trying to cheer me up. So, you know, it's a win-win thing.
You said when you're sad and you lose.
It's a win-win thing, you know. When I play like Apex, I get back on Apex and stuff. I'm so like, if I play Apex, I want to play. Like, I'm super competitive, so we want to play rank or something. So I'm locked in. Like, so last night I was like playing Apex for like an hour.
Damn.
And like my chat was like, guys, he forgot I was here. He forgot he's streaming. I was like, oh shit, yeah, I was. Like, I was so focused on trying to win and trying to lock in, and I look over at my screen. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I'm streaming. Thank the Lord, I'm not saying nothing wild or something right now.
That's hilarious. Have you started playing games? Has your son started playing games with you?
No. He actually got into a private school, so like he leaves. He got to catch the bus, a school bus. And the Hawaii traffic is nuts, bro. So he got to get to the school bus like super early, and then he gets home like super late because of traffic coming home after school traffic and stuff. So he's just focusing on school, especially with going from public to private. We're letting him know, and bro, like it's just crazy because I went to public school my whole life, right? But now it's like. He has like he came home one day and he was like telling me, "Oh, Dad, you gotta help me with this work." It was like a parent and student thing. So I had to help him with our family tree. And I was like, "Oh, when is this turned in?" He's like, "I gotta turn this in before 12 o'clock tonight."
Oh shit!
Like, what the hell? Is this like high school? Is this high school or college? I was like, "What? I never ever had to. You always had to like turn it in the next day, right?" They're like, "No. I gotta do it on the computer to turn it in tonight." I was like, "Wow, pretty cool."
Damn. Well, shout out to you for being, you know, in your son's life while preparing for a world title fight and being a professional athlete. So I applaud you on that. And I think that's the hardest thing is our children don't come with instructions, right? And my oldest son, he's 11, and he was talking the other day, he's going through math, doing multiplication problems. And he goes, "Dad, why am I learning about, you know, the medieval times? I don't give a fuck what they were doing. I don't care about their lights and all that shit. I don't care about it." And I was like, "Son, you're correct." And he goes, "And two, I've never once seen you do a double multiplication fucking problem, double digit." And I was like, "Oh, goddamn, he's saying all the right things." I was like, "Son, there's a lot of shit in life you got to do, and you don't have to, you don't need it, but you got to do it. And to hear that you're going through the same thing I'm going through right now with, your son trying to get homework done by midnight to turn it in, there's no instructions. They don't come with instructions. And I'm like,
yeah, brother, last year he showed me like a math problem, but then I guess that there is a new way to solve the problem, and it's not the same way that we learned. Well, I knew the answer, but then it said show your work.
Yeah.
And the way you had to show your work was the way they asked, and I couldn't do it. I was like, bro, I can't do this, Rush. I was like, you need to figure this out, because I'm not trying. You're on your own in this one, because bro, you need to figure this out, because I can tell you the answer. I know what the answer is. I know how to do it, but then there's a new way of getting it. I'm like, this makes no sense, man. Why are we doing this to each other?
I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they changed the thing, because the same thing with my son. I'm like, I said, show me how your teacher's showing you to do it. And then he's showing me. I was like, that's bullshit. That's fucking stupid, son. I was like,
so long.
It's so
hard. It's so long. It goes around. It's like, bro, you can just go this way. Look, you have the answer.
Exactly. It's always funny. And so I don't get the opportunity to talk to other athletes who are going through the exact same thing, right? Like my wife, she talks to other moms or whatnot. But for me, I'm not sitting there talking to, all the guys I train with, they don't have children. And it's like, oh, so how's Bobby's schoolwork going? He goes, I don't have any kids, DJ. And I'm like, oh shit, that's right. I talked to Matt about his kids, but his kids are all older, right? And they're all they're all they're like 13, 14. So they understand on the map, but fuck me, man. This school stuff with the children, this shit's got, I don't know.
Bro. It's tough, bro. It is tough. So, I mean, I bet your kids are like little celebrities in school anyway. So it must be fun too.
I try. I don't feel bad, but I do feel bad because I show up and they're like, oh, dude, that's your dad. And he goes, yep, that's my dad. And finally, ever since, me being a professional athlete and traveling the world with the kids, I would always turn down pictures when I'm with my kids. If I'm at the jiu-jitsu competition, if I'm at Monday Night Raw, wherever I am, if I have my kids in my hands or in my presence, I say no. I say I'm with the family. I do not take pictures. And then finally, when I was young, when the kids were younger, they're like, no, Dad, go ahead and take pictures. It's fine. I'm like, guys, no, I'm with you guys. I'm not taking pictures. Finally, the last time we were in Colorado and I was at Vegas, my son was like, dude, I hate when people come up and ask for pictures from you. I was like, really? He goes, yes, it pisses me off. You're my fucking dad. Like, you're trying to console me how I did in my match, and you can't even do that because people keep asking you. And I'm like, now you see why I tell people I do not take pictures with them. And so now he's older, so it's kind of like he hates it, but he understands why, but he respects that I never give the fans the opportunity. Like if I'm going to the bathroom and if I'm with my son, I'm like, hey, I'm going to take a piss. I walk to the bathroom and on the way back to my son, and someone goes, hey man, can I get a picture? I'm all Gucci, happy. I take the picture. But once I get back with the kids, I'm like, no more pictures. It ain't happen.
That's smart. No, that's cool. I never ever looked at it. That's awesome.
Well, I just don't want my kids when they're fucking 18, like, you piece of shit. You took pictures of all these friends when I was fighting and running track. You never gave me time to look at me. So that's why for me, I'm like, when I'm with the kids, no pictures. When I'm not with them, if I'm traveling to Asia, wherever it may be, I take all the pictures and then sign all the autographs. When I'm with them, I cut it off, man.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome.
What about for you? When your son goes to school, he's a little celebrity too. So they were like, "Hey man, your dad, the pride of Hawaii, man. Come on now, how's your dad looking?"
So it's funny because like this is a new school. He made some friends, and some of them didn't know that he was my son. So they was like, I think so. One of the days, I came up. He said at school, someone saw me pick him up or something, or I was around. I was around in the area, and they was like, "Oh," and his friend told him, "Hey, Max Holloway's here," and he was like, "Oh, who?" He's like, "What you mean cool?" He's like, "My dad," and he's like, "What? You're your friend?" I didn't know he was your dad. I didn't made new friends, of course, and that's the kind of guys he like. He's like, I liked him even more after that, Dad. He told me the story. He's like, I liked him even more after that, Dad, So, because the main thing is, we always got to tell him, like, like Matt Rush, like, you got to really find out who your friends are, especially right now, because you don't know who's going to be your friend because of who you are or who's your friend because they just want to be your friend. So
Yep.
and he gets it, he understands it, he knows it. Like you said, he's been around with all this picture taking and stuff, and he gets annoyed with it sometimes too. So if people ask me and I'm with him, I tell him, you ask him. And if you say you can, then we're good. And if not, then we're not gonna take the picture. So hey, he's great. He's growing up, and like you said, it's an amazing time right now, bro. He's 7th grade. You know, he's 7th grade this year, going to be 8th grade, almost going to be high schooler, bro. When I think about it, that's actually insane. So
Damn.
I mean, life go by fast, bro. You know, I got my UFC contract when he was born.
Damn.
Like the same exact day he was born. I got my UFC contract a couple hours, bro, before he came into this world. So like,
Wow.
I got my UFC contract at I think so. I can't remember the time, bro. It was like 10 o'clock. And we had to look at his birth certificate for what time he was born. So it said 3 o'clock. So it literally at 10 a.m. I got my UFC contract, and then 3 o'clock I got him. So it was like, and a super insane day for me. And, I'm never going to forget it. It's insane.
Yeah, you should fucking double up. It's your birthday and it's also my birthday because I'm making all this money to pay for all this shit, Rush. So it's my time too. If it was for me, we would be here right now. Come on now. Now, there's one more thing I wanted to ask you. What was it? Oh, shit. It's just off the top of my head. I'll come back to you. Michael, do you have anything for my man Max when I think about this? What was it?
Yep. Hey, Max. Yes, I almost hate to even ask about it because, in my opinion, I don't really know if Conor McGregor's ever going to fight again. But
yeah,
I've seen you say that you would potentially be interested in running back that rematch. Now that we know McGregor is not going to fight Chandler next, is that something that would potentially interest you, putting up that BMF title against Conor McGregor in a rematch?
Yeah, I mean, anybody who sits here and tell you they won't fight Conor McGregor is talking out their ass. I think DJ would come out of retirement to fight him, to be honest. But that's just what you got to do, bro. You got to Conor McGregor fight. Holy shit, you know. I told people all the time, I was like, bro, you know, I got a job, I got whatever. We saw what he did to one guy, making him wait forever. So I'm not too crazy about it, but bro, if the opportunity came, you'd be dumb as hell to not to take that fight, bro. That's a lot that, you know, you like financially that can change a lot of people's lives, and you'd be stupid to not to try to take it, you know. But chasing him for quite some time is kind of wild. But it was there. We got a contract. We had a date, bro. Why not? You know, at any weight. You know, a lot of people keep talking about weight. I'll fight that man at any weight. You know, I know he looks like a killer. He looks dangerous. But to get down back, you know, I think so. It probably annoys him too that I was the only 45er that he didn't finish or dropped or knocked down or whatever. Actually, I was probably the only fighter that he took down. Oh, in the UFC at least. Like he actually shot and took my ass down. So that sucked. But I hurt my ankle in that fight.
So imagine if you didn't hurt your ankle. Imagine if you didn't hurt your ankle.
Imagine if you didn't. There's so much things, Connor, that could have happened if my ankle wasn't hurt, brother.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing with the whole Conor thing, like I agree with you. If you get the opportunity to fight Conor, it is life-changing, not just financially, but the exposure. I mean, you look at Dustin Poirier, he even came on the show and said, dude, it changed my life forever. I don't have to fight. I just choose to fight because I want to. And I think Conor is in this realm now where he's at the bar, you know, pouring drinks, proper whiskey. Now he's, you know, part owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting, and he's doing press conference. And it's like, you can't do it all. Right? It's very hard to do everything at a very, very high level. Like I could not imagine doing the podcast and the YouTube and fighting, defending my belt. I couldn't do it. I barely have enough fucking time to train jiu-jitsu and get ready for these competitions. So for him, he doesn't have to fight. Like I always tell people, like if Max had $20 million in the bank right now, if you had $20 million in the bank, you'd be like, oh, you know, I might fight 2 more times and then I'm going to go do whatever the fuck I want to do. Not saying that you don't love fighting, right? But
no, bro, I bet $20 million in the bank right now, bro. The only time you'd see me is on kick, gambling.
Gambling the fucking money.
Gambling on Stick US, guys. I had $20 million, brother. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
I might even go buy something else.
Yeah, you might
change my name.
Yeah, you see what I mean? So money is a huge incentive for us to fight. When somebody has all that money, that incentive is not there. It's like, why? Like, even for me, it's like, dude, like, my brain is good. I'm happy. I don't, I'm not saying I got $20 million in the bank, but I'm building my brand up so I can one day have $20 million in the bank or whatnot, whatever it may be. But I feel like Conor's reached that level, and I'm happy for him. I'm sure you're happy for him. Even for Chandler was like, fuck, I want that fight. He's been waiting for a long time. Now he's finally, I'm done with Conor. I'm going to go fight, Charles Oliveira. Granted, that check's not going to be nowhere near if he waited for Conor. But you wait too long, that train might never show up.
Wait 2 years, bro. 2 years of your life for what?
Mm-hmm.
It sucks, bro. I mean, 2 years, and then you're fighting a killer in Oliveira. I mean, Oliveira's last fight was like, kind of tough. Like, you can kind of say like, oh yeah, this and that, but like, Oliveira's still Oliveira. He's still a killer, and you coming back 2 years after that. That's it's a wild fight, man.
Yeah, and Oliveira finished him last time, so that fight's always gonna be a banger because Oliveira always brings the fight and always is exciting. He's probably one of my favorite guys to watch in the UFC because he has a stand up. He doesn't give a shit. He just bangs, and then if you take him down, he's trying to grapple you. And then obviously when he fought Arman is a very good grappler, so he was able to nullify that jiu-jitsu. So I'll be kind of curious to see what Chandler, because Chandler just goes from 0 to 100 the whole fucking time. Like, it's almost like he's in such great shape and he just goes. I'm like, this motherfucker, he ain't pacing himself. He just goes the whole fucking time.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, man, Max, I can't remember what it was. It was good. I think it was going to be something about gambling, but I can't come off the top of my head. But man, I appreciate you. I wish you nothing for the best of this fight. I'm going to be watching it. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait to see how you, like, everybody's like, man, who you think's going to win? I was like, I don't care who wins. Obviously, I do. I want you to win. But I'm excited to see how you approach this fight with somebody who's dangerous in the void, in that pocket. Are you going to use your ladder movement? Are you going to use your kicks? Are you going to do a spinning back kick? And you're so intelligent, right? Not that you haven't been in the past, but you can see your mind thinking. I can see you thinking when you're in there. And I'm okay, how is Max going to approach this fight against Illia Topuria? And then that's what I'm most excited about with the fight, is the intelligence you're going to bring to that fight and how you're going to, navigate this fight. So, Max, this is your opportunity to let the fans know how they can support you, where they can find you, on Kick, see you gambling. The floor is yours, brother.
Guys, I'm on X and I'm on Instagram at BlessMMA. My YouTube channel, guys, I'm nowhere near Mighty Mouse, but if you want some content, Max Holloway, youtube.com, Max Holloway, BlessMMA on quick.com, and you can watch me do some of my stake streams there. It's good fun. If you're going to come and harass me about training, please don't come. Or actually do come. The viewer count is great, and then if you're not that annoying, we won't ban you, so... Thank you again. Thank you, Mighty, for having me on, bro. You're the man. You're a legend. And I can't wait, man. I look forward to talking to you after the fight.
Boom.
No, I actually have one more question before you go.
Look at it.
Got you, bro.
Yeah, so the co-main event is a freaking banger for your card. Robert Whittaker, Khamzat Chimaev. I know, DJ, you're excited for that one, too.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that matchup? And can you kind of give us a prediction of what you think is going to go down?
I mean... Bro, I think Robert Whittaker is a beast, bro.
Mm-hmm.
His IQ is high. He's smart. I think his that DDT, that one shot, that was just kind of crazy to see him go down like that. He get kicked in the head from Paulo Acosta, and then DDP kind of like jabbed, like kind of overhand jabs him and drops him. Is like kind of insane. So that's always questionable now. Like, is he hurt? Does he get hurt now? Does he get hurt easily? Because before, he's just a tough guy. Strong guy, don't really get hurt that often. But I'm rolling with Robert Whittaker, bro. All the way. I think so. Even if you watch the Kamaru Usman fight against Khamzat, if you can get someone who, these guys, like him and, Khabib and stuff, their shots, they take shots not to take you down. They take shots to get to the body clinch.
Yep.
And a lot of guys, and when you go watch the fight with Kamaru and Khamzat, when Kamaru wrestled back with him, that's how Kamaru lost. When Kamaru decided to be like, I'm not going to wrestle this motherfucker. I'm going to 2-on-1 in the hands, push his head to the ground and not wrestle back and try and get a wrestling position. I'm just going to try and get up and control hand fight and get away and then push him off. He actually got away.
Yep.
And I think one of the best guys that can hand fight and that can anti-wrestle is Robert Whittaker, just because his striking is so damn good, you know, and that's what he does. So at the end of the day, you know, it's a 5-rounder, bro. 5-rounder. We see Khamzat get tired in 3 rounds. I mean, he should be training for 5 rounds. We all know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still his first one. Robert been fighting 5 rounds for forever. That guy is just a vet. He's a legend. He's an OG of the sport, and I think so. If he goes out there with that anti-wrestling mindset and don't get hold down too much, I think so he can land something and just keep running. And you know, in that void, like get in the void, touch and move. He's like a karate guy.
Yep.
You know, he's like that karate. The way he bounces, the way he moves. Boom, front kick, trust kick. His left high kick is tricky. So I think so. Robert Whittaker can get it done and fight. This guy wrestle with you, don't wrestle back, bro. A lot of these guys is like thinking like, oh, I can wrestle with him. I can hit a switch here, or I can go this.
Don't fucking do it.
Oh, they're tricking you. These guys are strong. This guy wrestle bears.
Exactly.
Hey, you trying to wrestle a guy who wrestles a bear? I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? That's I got a bear that I'm practicing with. I ain't gonna wrestle you.
Well, I think the biggest thing for me for that fight is, can Khamzat make it to the fight? Can he make it there healthy? Because that's
the other thing. Yeah, he's been having hard stuff, right? That's crazy.
Exactly. And I think there's something to be said about like his genetic makeup, that he has a hard time staying healthy when his body gets to that point in camp where it's being broken down, he gets sick, or I don't know, right? We don't know what got him sick the last time they made a pull-out fight, but when he fought Kamaru Usman, he did get tired. So it'll be interesting to see if he makes it to the fight. And then, you know, I agree with you. I'm going with Robert Whittaker as well. OG of the game. Great stance, great anti-wrestling, and just very intelligent as well. Boom. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to my man, Max Holloway. Make sure you support him as he takes on Illia Topuria at UFC 307, I believe, right? UFC 307? Yep. UFC
308.
308? Okay.
Is it 308? I don't even know the numbers, bro. I just
308.
I think you said 307 the other day. I think you said 307 earlier in the stream or in the podcast.
Yeah, my bad.
I did, or Max? Oh, Max did.
Max said.
307 Salt Lake City, yeah.
Yeah, it's 307.
No, I'm saying 307 is Salt Lake City, and then this
is Alex Perez.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
yours is
There's
308.
two pay-per-views that month.
Yeah,
Okay, you said that. Okay, so boom. All right, in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you give my man Max Holloway a follow on Instagram, Twitter. Go watch the man make a lot of money on kick.com, and make sure you tune into his fight as he takes on Illia Topuria at UFC 308. I am your host, Demetrious Johnson. That is my guest, Max Holloway, and my co-host, Michael Roser. We'll see you guys at the next episode of the MightyCast. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Mighty Recap. And this part of the episode is where we talk about what we just went through, or essentially recap everything we just talked about with our guest. And our guest was Max Holloway as he gets ready to take on Illia Topuria. Now, I'm super excited about this matchup because Illia Topuria, he is a dangerous guy. And like Max Holloway said, he is that newer generation of the champion. Max has been around the sport forever, which is a good thing. A lot of people are like, oh, that's a bad thing. That's a good thing because it's super hard to stay on top at the highest level in the UFC or anywhere around the world. And like I said before, I'm excited to see how is he going to approach this fight with somebody who has the same amount of success in the void in that pocket when they fight. That's how he knocked out Alex Volkanovski. That's how he knocked out Jay Herbert. He didn't get Bryce Mitchell. He didn't get, Josh Emmett, but he is known for his striking. And so is Max Holloway. Max Holloway, even though he has the smallest arms in the division, T-Rex Max, he is able to outbox people. And when he did the Justin Gaethje with a spinning back kick and outboxing him, and then at the last 10 seconds, put a Justin Gaethje out, this fight is going to be absolutely fucking insane.
No, I mean, I think this is the matchup of the year in MMA. Like and always what I love about Max Holloway, because what's tough about the sport of MMA to some more novice fans, they see the matchups on paper and they expect, oh, this is going to be a banger. And then when someone goes for the takedown and or say two guys are a little passive striking, then they're just like, oh, MMA sucks. But if there's one guy in the sport who guaranteed when you get that matchup on paper, it's going to be a banger, it's Max Holloway. There is no chance that him versus Illia Topuria, I mean, someone might get knocked out right away. I'm not denying that, but there's no way that fight isn't going to be like amazing every second it lasts. For me personally, it is when all the matchups got announced, throughout the year, I think this is the number one matchup that could have possibly been booked in all of UFC. Do you agree with that?
1,000%. I agree with you. Like you said, Max Holloway always comes out, always puts on an exciting fight. No matter who he fights. When he fought Korean Zombie, it was a banger. When he fought Justin Gaethje, it was a banger. Even the Aldo fights were bangers. Shit, hell, if he even fought Daniel Cormier's, big ass, that would also be a banger. And I think the biggest thing is, it'd be interesting to see how Illia Topuria approaches this fight, because Illia Topuria has known to have some trouble on the feet with longer guys. Granted, Max is taller, but he's not longer. And Illia Topuria does make adjustments as the fight goes on, and so does Max Holloway. So you have two intelligent stand-up artists fighting each other. And I would not be surprised if Illia Topuria is having a hard time finding Max. I would not be surprised if Illia Topuria does a double leg takedown to try to slow down, just to change up the dynamic of the fight, right? Like, I always think that's a good thing. If you're having a hard time in a fight with somebody, you change the element of the game by just throwing something out there, like a shot or fighting in the clinch, anything like that. And that's one of the things that I love that Max did when he fought Jose Aldo, because he was piecing with the hands, and then once he started throwing that body kick, I was like, holy shit, that is an amazing piece that he threw into the puzzle, because I didn't think Max was gonna throw the body kicks. And Max has had so many bangers. Like, I'll never forget when he fought, I feel like he fought Anthony Pettis, and when he was beating Anthony Pettis, and then Anthony Pettis curled up and he fucking went and did like 6 fucking pop, 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 pop. Like, anytime Max fights, it's always a fucking banger, and that's why he's the baddest motherfucker right now in the UFC. And I can't wait to see what he does. Like, for me, I just love, like, Max has always been one of my favorite guys to follow and watch, and I'm excited to see, I'm always looking to the future, because whether he wins or loses, I can't wait to see what he's gonna do next. Like, I'm like foreseeing or foreshadowing the future. Like, man, what's he gonna do after the fucking fight? He hasn't even fought yet. That's just how much a big fan I am of him. And even Izzy Adesanya, even though he fought, I'm excited to see what he's going to do next. Even though he lost, I'm excited to see what he's going to do next, because I'm such a big fan of him.
Yeah, and once again, we are not hiding our bias. This weekend, we have the two biggest friends of the show, Robert Whittaker and Max Holloway. So we are not hiding who we're rooting for. To have them both in the main event and co-main event, those two fights are just please, can everyone show up? Like, that is all I ask. Just show up, weigh in safely, all that stuff. Get to Abu Dhabi in time, because that is as good of a main event and a co-main event as you are going to get. Any card, any time of the year for UFC. That main event and co-main event is probably, my opinion, better than UFC Noches. Reason why is because easily, when it comes to like the Illia Topuria versus Max Holloway, it's gonna be a fucking banger. And then you have Robert Whittaker taking on Khamzat. Like, that is going to be an absolute banger. And seeing Khamzat's grappling is so fucking good. Watching him grapple with Luke Rockhold, and granted, it's just pure grappling. And even, Robert Whittaker, he has some grappling skills as well. But I think Khamzat doesn't get a lot of respect, because he always has these fights where he doesn't know how to pace he doesn't know how to pace himself, right? And he's always getting sick. And then he goes to war. If Khamzat can use his intelligence a lot more, okay, I'm going to slow myself down. I'm going to outbox. I'm going to move, push kick, force my opponent to do certain things, then I think his skill set will go so much further. You won't see him getting tired or having these close matches, with Kamaru Usman. Not saying Kamaru Usman isn't good. Kamaru Usman is one of the best welterweights of our time. But I think a lot of people have that asterisk next to Khamzat's name. And I think that night we're going to figure out if he truly is the boogeyman, as Bob Whittaker, the Reaper, Bobby Knuckles, takes it to Khamzat. But Khamzat's got to show up first and make weight and all that good stuff. But back to the guest, Max Holloway. And to see that Max is still having fun. He's enjoying himself. He's looking forward to fighting Illia Topuria, and he's looking forward to see what's after that. That's always a big smile, especially, that he's been in the game for so damn long.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and I want to get your take on something Max mentioned. Topuria has been just like weird. The way he has approached it, and we talk a lot on this show about the importance of, shit talking and telling a story, but it's always hard with someone like Max Holloway when they're one of the nicest guys in the sport. And and Topuria is like really pushing it pretty strong, and he's playing that kind of international villain almost. Like that's how he reminds me of the gimmick. He's a lot of people kind of say he's stealing from Conor McGregor. What do you take of like some of just the antics that he's had? Do you think it's getting under Max's skin at all, or do you think Max is just like, I don't care that he's tweeting this stuff?
Yeah, Max doesn't give a shit. He knows fight night, that door's gonna close, and he knows he's gonna take he's gonna take it to him, and he knows Illia Topuria is gonna respond. It's kind of hard to talk shit about Max because what are you gonna say? He can't fight. I mean, the guy's knocked out, his last two opponents, Korean Zombie and Justin Gaethje. He's not scared. He's been a champion. He's beat the best of the division. Only person who's beat Max is Alex Volkanovski. And yeah, Illia Topuria did beat Alex Volkanovski in the first crack. And, that was also Alex Volkanovski coming off of getting knocked out by Islam Makhachaev. So I think Illia Topuria taking a route. And it's all to bring buzz to the pay-per-view and get people excited to buy in, because that's how these guys make their money, by buying the pay-per-view. But I think Illia Topuria doesn't have to be the villain. He doesn't have to talk shit, because we know each time Max fights, it's going to be a banger. And each time Illia Topuria, everybody remembers the last fight. That's what people remember, right? You look at Max Holloway's last fight, he knocked out Justin Gaethje. And the whole fight leading up to that knockout was absolutely amazing. You look at Illia Topuria's last fight, which was Alex Volkanovski. That fight was great, and it lasted till the second round. He knocked him out. That's what the fans remember, and when the fans remember that's what they saw, that's what they can expect when they fight on UFC 308. So I think him talking the boo-boo and the shit to Max Holloway, I think it's just, I don't know what it's for. But I haven't been seeing it. He did say keep that same energy. They probably try to draw him out to get in that slugfest at the very beginning. But like Max said, he is going to go out there, use his intelligence, use his speed, use, his injuries, and how he's going to, figure out Illia Topuria to get the job done.
No, and I agree with you, because the background of Illia Topuria, he's such a great striker, but his background is actually in Greco-Roman wrestling. He's a really fucking good wrestler when he wants to be. So I agree with you, because you said it earlier. I think he's gonna shoot a takedown at some point. Like why wouldn't you? I mean, it's like, should I stand like use all of the mixed martial arts you don't have? It's like Alex Pereira, right? Like you don't. I wish guys would try to take him down more. If I fought Max Holloway, I mean, he's the best boxer probably in the history of UFC. So do you think Topuria is gonna use some of that wrestling?
I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, I always, when I talk to guests, I'm like, the worst thing you do is play into somebody's strengths. And I think they're both strong on the feet, right? There's no secret there. But I would not be surprised. I'll be shocked if Max shoots before Ilya does, right? If we have to gamble right now,
happening. No,
right?
I mean, it would be pretty. Like it could work. I mean, it would certainly catch Topuria off guard. Maybe he'd get like a little takedown there.
Yeah, but that's But Max tends to approach his fights the same way, strategic. He has the great boxing. He understands the range. He understands the void. Before we did the Mighty recap, we had a nice little conversation with Max off camera, and we're talking about the void and all that good stuff. And one day we're going to go into Hawaii. We're going to do another episode of the MightyCast, and we're actually going to train with him to talk about our philosophy, because me and him have come on record and said mixed martial arts is the easiest sport, because it is easy once you understand the philosophy of fighting and body mechanics and body positioning. But a lot of people haven't spent as much time as me and Max have done through my amateur days in mixed martial and fighting, and him as well. But I think this fight with Max and Ilya, if anybody's going to shoot, I'm gonna expect it's going to be Ilya. Or none of them are going to shoot, but if one of them is going to shoot, it's going to be Ilya, because Ilya does have that wrestling background.
Yeah, and obviously make sure to take a look at our channel. We're going to have, plenty of UFC 308 coverage, final predictions, all that stuff later in the week is just absolutely stacked, Car. We're not going to go over the whole thing right now, but it is it is, in my opinion, the most stacked card. I'd probably say it's the most stacked since 300. So we're getting, always when they go to that Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, they stack those cards. So we're getting spoiled as UFC fans this weekend.
They got that money. They got that money. Boys, if you guys enjoyed this episode of the MightyCast and the Mighty Recap, make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Also, hit that bell to know when we go live. Make sure you guys get your Mighty Season 1 Void shirt, Mighty swag at shopmighty.com. Also, and if you guys use PrizePicks, make sure you use my promo code MightyCast. They got some amazing lineup this weekend. Lock in your picks before it is gone, before the event starts. Also, make sure you guys check out First Form. Get your energy or your protein wherever you need. They got all of the stuff. Super high quality. Super high quality. There's a Void hat right there. Go to shopmighty.com to get your Void swag, your Mighty swag. As always, boys, we will see you at the next episode of the MightyCast. Cheers.